Hi, this is Vinayak Paka. So, today I will guide you through this entire video. Today, banks are under massive pressure to scale green and sustainability linked loans. However, when a company proposes a sustainability target like reduce emissions by 10% by 2026, bankers face a critical challenge. They have no fast, reliable, or defensible way to judge whether the target is ambitious, reasonable, or simply greenwashing. The current process is manual, inconsistent, and takes days to weeks per deal, relying heavily on spreadsheets subject to judgment and fragmented ESG tools. This leads to delayed deals, weak targets getting approved, and serious regulatory risk. With regulators like the EBA and frameworks such as CSRD and EU taxonomy demanding strict justification, bankers must not only make the right decision but also prove how they made it. Today, the audit trails simply doesn't exist. Our solution does not change how bank evaluates KPIs. It replicates the exact same banking process but compresses it into 15 to 30 minutes. Using 17 specialized AI agents, the system performs the same steps a banker would, benchmarking targets against real pays, validating regular alignment, checking credibility signals, and documenting every assumption. The output is clear, evidence based recommendation, not an automated decision, so the final credit decision always remains with the bank, supported by a complete audit ready report. Let me now walk you through the desktop dashboard and show how this process looks in practice. Yeah, so right now we are inside the GreenGuard desktop dashboard. This is the central workspace where bankers can see all the ESG analytics, KPI scores, benchmarking graphs, and assessment history. So now let's start with the KPI assessment feature. Here we are creating a new assessment of the company Atos SE, and we need to fill all the basic company details including geography, sector, and baseline emissions, target year, and emission scope. And it is mandatory to enter the NACE code because that's what we use for accurate regulatory classification and peer benchmarking. Now we move to document upload. Here we upload all the required inputs like the CSRD report, the sustainability report, and the second party opinion report, and the transition plan of the company. These documents are what our system uses as the single source of truth for the assessment. Once everything is ready, we start the assessment. From here, our 17 specialized AI agents begin analyzing the documents in parallel. This process typically takes around 15 to 30 minutes compared to several days of manual work by a banking team. During this step, the system benchmarks the company's targets using SPDI data from over 50,000 EU companies for peer evaluation. Finally, we can see that the agentic system has generated the report with the sustainability target classified as highly ambitious. This is a detailed banker-ready report that gives a complete view of the company's ESG performance. At the top, we also have an integrated chatbot where we can ask any question directly about the generated report. Below that, we can see the content structure of the report. It starts with the executive summary and overall assessment. Next is the risk assessment section covering execution, market, financing, and capex risks. Then we have the credit recommendation report clearly outlining approval conditions and monitoring requirements. The report also shows which documents the system reviewed along with the extracted KPI and governance data. We then see the credibility signals and evidence gaps followed by a dramatic SBTI benchmark. So finally, the full report can be downloaded for audit, compliance, or internal review. Now let's move on to the ESG analysis feature. Here we will upload the ESG report of Infosys to demonstrate how the system works. As you can see, the document is currently uploading. During this step, GreenGuard validates the document and prepares it for analysis. Once the upload is complete, the AI agent analysis automatically begins. Behind the scenes, multiple specialized AI agents start working in parallel, extracting ESG disclosures, analyzing environmental, social, and governance metrics, and benchmarking Infosys against industry peers. Within a few moments, we receive a detailed ESG insights report. These reports include an overall ESG score, benchmarking comparison against peer companies, and visual graphs showing both the combined ESG score and individual scores for environmental, social, and governance pillars. You can clearly see how Infosys performs relatively to industry standards and where its strengths and gaps are across each ESG dimension. If we open the saved report, we can view the complete breakdown including insights, benchmarks, and supporting visualizations in a single structured view. This makes ESG evaluation faster, more consistent, and fully audit ready.